Okay, at different point in time, I had made different comments about taking trade and then waiting till I have confirmation. And you wonder what is the confirmation I've been talking about? What is the last thing I look at before taking a trade? After I've created my key levels, I have done this, I've done that, mark my key level, put down my trend lines in place, done my Fibonacci levels, and then all of them are giving me a go ahead or indicating a good trade for me. And I'm still saying that I'm waiting for a for um, confirmation. Now, what as a price action trader, as a naked chart trader, the last thing or the main thing you need to look at, let me not use the word main thing, but it's one of the most important things to look at when taking a trade. If you don't take a good look at what I'm going to teach tonight, you must still be profitable. It is just that your entry will not be tight enough and your risk may be too much. And that's why we need to understand what each candle or what the candles on the charts are saying. Like I love to say, these candles are storyteller. They are telling a story. And then you must be able to say that this is what this actually means. Now the truth is there are books and I think I've dropped some, or if I've not, probably dropped some books for you that explain different aspects of what we've done so far, especially now that we are towards the end. Now the truth is that when it comes to price action trading, we have two sides. The first side is to understand what each candlestick is. Now, for example, this is a candlestick. This is different from this. This is different from this. They all have names. This is different from this. And they all have what they stand for. And this is different from this. So this is a doji. This is a marubuso. Something like this also you can see. But then it's not a complete one because it still have tape. But then I tell people, don't bother yourself with I need to master the name, cramming the name, and all of that. You really don't need that. What you need to know is how to interpret what those candlesticks are telling you. So the one side of price action is to understand the candlesticks, know their name, know what they mean, know what it means when they are lining up. And the second part is to know what group of candles are telling you. And that's what I'm going to focus on tonight because that's really what matters. Because you can't take a trade just based on one candlestick, except you are Peter Akinla. That's just on a lighter note. Because if you remember, the trade I took on, was it on, I can't remember which day actually, that I sent the screenshot on the group that I took the trade basically because of the last candle that was printed there. I don't know if you remember. Let me see if I can bring that chart up on the group. I want you to see what I'm talking about. Now look at, can you remember this particular trade I took? And then I said that I took this trade basically because of this. Now the truth is, now that I'm talking about the fact that you cannot take a trade based on just one candlestick, you're wondering that why is Peter contradicting himself? You say you can't take a trade based on one candlestick, and you took a trade on one candlestick and it went well for you. Now, one thing is this. It was not just because of this candlestick, because obviously market has been going down. Look at this very strong pressure. Market came down forcefully. Now there was a rejection. So for me, this just looked more like a confirmation that it is still a downward movement. So let me go back to what we're dealing with. So I just said that to clarify what I've said. So tonight I want you to I was on a chat. I want you to look at a few things. Now, the major part that I want you to focus on, I'm not going to do much tonight because I found out that doing too much will probably confuse you. I'm going to focus on just one thing. Look at this. Where is it again? Oh, look at this. Yes. Now, let's put a line here. The question is, what does this signify? What happened there? Sorry, this is too much. Um, so, those candles in my circle, what do they signify? Now, before I start, I don't want to say anything that is bogus or too heavy. Just want you to follow what I'm going to explain. Price came up, and of course, what I'm going to explain here is the same thing that happened here. But then let's use this as an example. Price rallied up, came here, but closed below this key level. That's one. That is, the buyers pushed the price up to this point, but could not sustain the momentum. So the sellers came in and pushed the price below this key level. That's one, right? The second candle opened, and then buyers took it up again, but they could not sustain the momentum. So sellers came in and pushed it down below the key level again. But note that these two candles are still bullish. I hope you understand. They are still bullish. But then same thing happened again. Buyers took it up, sellers brought it down. But then it became bearish. Bullish or bearish is not even what I'm so much concerned about. It's the fact that they did not close above this key level. Now see what happened after. Pushed it up, came down, pushed it up, came down again. Now, this is D1. If we go to a lower time frame, it will be clear that from this point, you started seeing a lower low. Can you remember the lesson we learned from market structure? Lower low and the higher highs and the likes. Now, this is a low here. This is a lower low. This is a lower low. So obviously, if this is not just a um if they are not just candlesticks, if they are trends, if they are movement in the market, you will have said this is a early trend. I just hope this thing will not go away. Let me go to H4. No, it went away. I hope I can get to identify this thing. Went away. That's what I'm trying. Oh shoot. Okay, went away. But I will draw it again. Don't worry. Let me erase these ones. If you can understand what I'm trying to teach in a very simple language tonight, you've understood the basics of price action trading. So just follow me. So now, for someone like me, on a normal day, this is how much I trust this system. On a normal day, if I open my chart and I see this setup, I will not bother draw key level. I will not bother draw Fibonacci. Of course, I might just do it just to be sure. But then, this is enough for me to take a trade. Now, as you know, I'm not looking more than 50. I'm not looking for more than 50 pips. So even if I'm wrong, I will still do 50 pips in this. Just this candle will give me my 50 pips. But then it is. So what are we saying? The reaction of price at a key level is very important. You need to watch out for what price is doing at that key level. All these tails, they are rejection. See, there's a rule in the market. It's not a rule, it's just common sense. Once price fail to go to this side, several times after trial, it's going to fall on the other side. So price was trying to go to continue this upward movement. How many times did he try? One, two, three, four, five. What did you notice after came down? Look at this. One, two, three, came down. Look at this. One, two, three, went up. Look at this. One, two. See the rejection went up. Look at this. One, two, went up. Look at this. One, two, three, went up. Can you see that rejection? That's what I'm teaching you to understand and to master and to pay attention to. But then there are times that these things don't work, and that's why I say that you can't just use one candlestick as a determinant. For example, look at this. If you say, see this rejection, just by, of course, you'll be right for a few pips. Why? Because after this, see, price went up some 53 pips. So if it is spectacular, I'll probably have taken my profit already before this downward movement, but it will have been a dangerous game anyway. That's the truth. It will have been a very dangerous game. But then, you might still be lucky enough to take your profits. So that is very important. That is very important. That is the basics of price action trading. Let's look for, okay, I was going to say let's look for another example. Look at this. Now, if you see this on a normal day, you will say it's a triple bottom. It's a triple top rather. One, two, three. That's a reason to sell, right? There's a key level, a reason to sell. By the time we draw fib, it might also reinforce our sell. But then look at what is happening. Price got rejected here, got rejected here, got rejected here. The question is, why is price getting rejected here? Because it is a key level, right? Two, because, so why is it a key level? Because at this point, the sellers are now more convinced than ever before that this price is good for a sell, that this price is too expensive, and that's why buyers lost momentum. Because nobody's going to keep buying at an expensive price, and that's why nothing really goes up forever. It will get to a price or a point where both the buyers and the seller will agree that it is not too expensive, let's bring it down. The same way at the bottom, sellers will say it is now too cheap. Buyers have to start coming in. And that's the simple logic behind the market, buyers and sellers. So zooming it in, you can see the two lines we picked were really, really key levels. Can you see that? So when I say that wait for confirmation, or I'm waiting for a confirmation before I say this thing, that's what I'm talking about. See this rejection, see this rejection, see this rejection. Before this began to fall, see what happened. Let me zoom it in. Oh, I lost it. See, I'm going to drop, if you need the books, I will ask for it. I will drop those books for you so you can really understand it. Look at this. See the rejections here. You can't see all of this and ignore it and say nothing they happen. A lot is happening here. This is a story telling you that price is ready to fall. This is the market telling you that price is ready to fall. So you can get to see it. And the truth is, these candlesticks and price action work on all time frames. It's just that, like we already established. It's just that higher time frames are more solid. That's all. So you go on 15 minutes and see candlestick and say, okay, we are going low. You might be right, but then how long are we going? Because it might not go just few pips and turn back. But then if you see some of these on higher time frame like H4 and D1, you know that it is solid. It is solid. Imagine I just went to weekly time frame. Of course, you have no business with weekly time frame. I'm just using this for example. Look at this. It is even obvious that this must drop, even on a weekly time frame. But let's go back to daily time frame. See, market broke it, went up, came down. This. So the truth is, if we will be patient enough to understand this thing and practically make sure that you execute them, you will have less of trade that will not you have less in terms of number of trades that will not go your way, and that is the truth, because that means you've been able to master the movement of the market by reading and interpreting the candlesticks, and that is what this class is all about. That is what this class is all about. So tonight, do we have any question? Tomorrow I'll be taking the last topic for this class. It's called trading psychology and money management. So it is the last topic for this class. So if you have any other question to ask after the classes, of course, I believe you are all on my trading group. So learning never stop. So don't think after this class does it mean we are done learning? It will never stop. We'll keep learning, we'll keep getting better, and we'll keep progressing. That's it. But then that is what we need to teach, what we need to learn. So I'm waiting for your question actually. And I also need to ask, how well have you been doing with your practice? Lada, I've not been hearing from you of late. I was planning to chat you up after tonight's class. So question, please. I need your questions. Let's okay. I'm waiting for you to conclude on your question so that I can answer it. You said sometimes you see the rejection on a 4 hour time frame, and when you go to the smaller time frame, it's still going up. If you enter the trade based on the rejection on 4 hour, will you be um, on the 4 hours? You will be in the drawdown. Now the question here is this: the um, the solution to that is this. You know the way we work here. Pick a direction from higher time frame, go to lower time frame to pick entry. So let me use this particular example we've been using for example. Now I'm on D1 and I saw this. Let's say price was somewhere here as at when I saw this. I'm not going to take my trade here. No, it's not my best entry. You know why? I'm too far from the key level. If I take the trade here, I'm too far. I'm I'm 20 pips away from the key level, which is not too far for me. But then somehow, based on the candle that have been printed, I know that if this is going to happen again, my stop loss will hit before the price even go my way. So I'm going to wait for it, hopefully, for it to come a little bit up. So I'll probably wait for me to sell on this key level. So the question is, I know what is going to happen, but I'm waiting for the perfect time to shoot my shot. And so by the time this happened and the price went up, I might just be lucky enough to pick myself from here or here or here, or even above, any sell I make above this key level will have been a very good entry. Why? Because my stop loss will not be challenged at all. Imagine I take my trade somewhere here. Even a tep, even a 20 pip stop loss will still be very okay for me. If I take my because fundamentally my stop loss should be above these wicks, these tails. Many people that probably took this trade would have their stop loss hit. Why? Because their stop loss will be somewhere above this wick. The truth is, when you are trading things like this, you target 2-3 pips above the wicks, and you see that by the time price was going to go, the last candle went higher than all of those other candles. So, and that's why sometimes we call it stop hunt. That is, it is hunting for your stop loss before it goes your way. Look at this also. If you look at this and you now put your stop loss here, this will just come, take out your stop loss and then go up. Can you see how fun these things are? Look at this as well. Look at this as well. This one went up before. So it happens. And then and that does not mean you should not make your stop loss unnecessarily wide. But then if it happens and you were lucky enough to see when it happened, that's why we enter again. If you are still around the buying range or the selling range. So let me answer your question before I drift away. So if you like the example I'm giving now, I'm not going to sell here. I'm going to wait, and that's why I wish I can go to lower time frame to show this. But if I go to lower time frame, it will disappear totally because I won't be able to. I mark this place again. But then if you go to a lower time frame, we'll be able to see it well. And for me, either lower time frame or no lower time frame, I'm waiting to sell at a price close to this key level or above it. That's what I'm waiting for. That would be my best entry. I hope you understand that. Now, the second question was my opinion on swing trading. Now, if you get it right, it's the best form of trading, especially if you know what you are doing. Let me just use that word. Because why do I say it is the best form of trading? If you know what you are doing, it teaches you patience, and that's the truth. It teaches you a lot of patience, and then if you use the right money management, you can make a lot of money from it. So you are not under pressure to close 30 pips to, unlike someone like me that will have 10 entries. If you might actually do that, at every key level got broken, you enter another. So it depends on what works for you. And then this is the truth. There's nothing like I'm a swing trader, I'm a day trader. The day traders have all of those. So you can have 3 accounts. Like a friend used to say, he said he has 5 accounts, trading accounts. There's one for investment where he scoop up money from that account every 3 months to buy landed property, just for other investment. There's another account that he does swing trading on. I just know that this account, I'm going to swing this account from $500, and I must push it to $50,000 before the end of the year just by swinging. And there's another account where he knows that is a small account where he make money for the family. So that account might not trade more than once a week, just to have some $500 to withdraw out of it to cater for his needs and upkeep and all of that. So what am I saying in essence is that, of course, you can't jump to that level. You have to start from somewhere. So if you have $100 and you want to do swing trading, you might not really get it right. Why? Because the pressure of I need to make money will not allow you let it let it let it go. Because if you are doing swing trading, there are a few things involved. You must be using uh, an ECN account, a true ECN account, meaning that they won't be deducting swap and all of those things like a normal account. Because if you have an account that you are holding a trade for 3 weeks and then Hotforex or any of them is deducting swap, you might have, and then the trade goes back, you might eventually be owing them, and that's the truth. So that's on one side. The other side of it is patience, and you never can tell how hard it is to be patient until you try it. So my advice is that you have, once you start growing, you have an account where you do swing, and then you have an account where you do daily trading. So all your impatience can be spent on the account where you have a daily trading account, and you can practice your and build your patience with your swing trading account. So it's just perfect to do it that way. And then once you start looking at the market with the eyes of a swing trader, you will see a lot of opportunities, especially by key levels. Look at this. For example, if you have entered from here, which is obvious, almost anybody can pick that the market is going to turn from here and then to this next level. So, as a swing trader, you trade from one zone to the other. So that's why we call them zone trading. It's also called zone trading. So you trade from one zone to the other. You don't close it until you reach the next zone. So from this zone to this zone, you have made 500 pips. But then it's easy to say that, but let's look at how many days that took. That actually took an average of 38 days. 38 days to make 500 pips. So you choose what is right for you. 38 days to make 500 pips. When if I trade very well, I can do that in a week. It's so it is just the way you choose to do it anyway. GPP USD. Okay, let's look at GU. Where is my GU chart? What they great for? How come I didn't take out of this money? I didn't even check GU. I was just on new USD Ultra. Somehow, I fell in love with EU. Then GU. Okay, so there's a zone here. Obviously, there's a zone here. So, and then funny enough, GU closed very bearish. I mean, the candle are full candles, very full candles. So I would wait for GU to settle into this zone well before I can decide anything. So I'll wait for it to settle into this very well before I can decide anything at all. This is massive drop, a huge one at that. Obviously, it is 61.8 retracement, but it's okay. So that's it. There's, there's no sophistication anywhere. There's nothing sophisticated. Can you see it on the time on the monthly time frame? I mean, let's see the third bottom. So it's more like a triple bottom forming. So let the triple bottom come and rest here, and so let the third bottom rest well and give us reason to sell, to buy rather, and then we can take it up. And if it's not going to buy, if it's going to sell, we'll see where it's going next. But then until you rest into that zone, I don't think anything can happen. But it's been a long time. Okay, so this is what Corona can cause. This is a massive drop, but it's cool. So let's see what happened at that very bottom. At the very bottom we are looking at. Let's see what happened here. But first, it has to settle into that zone. So let it settle into that zone, and then we can see. So if you are looking to take a trade, you can put pending orders around. If you go to a lower time frame to pick, you can pick pending. You can put pending orders around points like this. But then why not just wait? That's it. Why not just wait and let everything play out? Just wait. Any other thing tonight? Okay, fib extensions. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to screenshot my fib extension I sent to you. I forgot to mention that the fib you have on your laptop on your phone is not enough. There are levels you have to add manually. So let me quickly teach you how to add them, and then I will drop them for you. Thank you for that question. So to add fib extension or fib levels, just click on the fib properties, then parameters, common, and all of that. So this is where you add them. So you click on add. So you add what you want to add, and once you add this, come to this, you add it, and that's all. So that's how you add new level. So I'm going to drop the other extension, the other levels you're going to add to your fib to make it work well and better. I'm going to drop that. Thank you for that question. So any other thing, please? How to put them on the highs and low. I thought I already taught that in the fib videos. Yes, you can always go back to the fib video and check it. But let me quickly. So if you want to use your separator to pick to know what you want to do, this is it. This is my period. I'm on H4. So meaning I'm dealing with weekly. So this is my high. This is my low. This is my high. So I'm watching out for this. So If this was this last week and I was going to prepare for next week, I would probably have marked this level. So look at this, price went down, it traced here, and I will have sold from here. This will have been a perfect entry for me. Same thing with this place. Came down, there was a retracement on 3.6. I hit it here, I hit it here, and that's it. So, but then if you don't want to use, if you are not using period separator, which is also possible, and if you don't want to use period separator, let me do for an example for that. So let's say for this, just pick the high here, put the low here, and then you have it there. So you can see 61.8 replacement, 50.1, and then finally price moved out. So you can see that it is still very accurate. Look at those key level, there were price actions on there. See 23.6, you can see price action here. So let me look for another example. Okay, let's see this. For this is almost 50% retracement here, and then 38% here. So let's look for another one. So with or without PS separator, you can always use fee once you learned how to use it well. And then how do you learn how to use it well? By practice. So if you practice and you have little challenge, you ask questions, you get a response, and you get better. So let me try and see if this will work. Oh, where did I pick? So this is the low here, this is the high here. The next low happened on 61.8. Can you see your buy point? And then price went up. So another example, let's see this. This is a high, this is a low. No, sorry, no, that's not it. You want to measure this. So what is where is the closest low? This is it. Then to the closest high, 61.8. Can you see? And then you can go on and on and on and on. Even this. Why did it disappear? Even this, you can always measure this as almost invisible as it is. So this movement upward is a 38.2 movement. So you can go on and on and on. So what did we measure here actually? That's the question. Price went up and started retracing, but you know it's still gonna go up. So you missed entry here. Where next are you gonna enter? When price start coming down, you know it's gonna be here by drawing the fee. Then once it touched 30.2, moved up again. So any other question? Any other one before we draw the curtain tonight? Any other question? But wait, do you understand what I've taught, what I've explained already? Hello? Okay. Okay. So do we have any other question? I've spoken about rejection counters already. That's what today's class was all about. So if you didn't get that, I'm going to upload this video and drop it. You can watch that again. And then I also explain entries. So that's what today's class was meant to be about. So asking me to explain it again, yes. So asking me to explain it again is as good as saying that I should start all over again. Okay, okay, good. So let's end this class and let's end this class. Let's end this class and we'll continue the rest on WhatsApp. Enjoy the enjoy your night.